670 million. What does this number represent? It's the precise number of adults worldwide that have been diagnosed with high-functioning ADHD, all thanks to a study carried out in 2022. So the next time life tosses you around like a bull in a rodeo, just remember, you're never on this journey by yourself. But let's be real here. Hidden ADHD can make you do some unusual things. So, let's go over 10 things. High-functioning ADHD makes you do one. It makes you struggle with time management. If you have high-functioning ADHD, you might notice yourself frequently getting caught up in a wrestling match with time management, even if you're reluctant to admit it. This tussle usually comes from a combination of how your brain operates and how it deals with certain tasks such as planning, organizing, and keeping track of time. As a result, your brain occasionally needs extra momentum to make sure everything flows with the same finesse as safely bringing an airplane to a smooth landing. And on days when that extra momentum isn't quite there, you might find yourself struggling with staying on track as scheduled. 2. You procrastinate a lot. You may have caught yourself struggling with time management more than a few times. If so, then you might also be all too familiar with the dance of procrastination. It's that habit of putting things off, even when you know you shouldn't. And as frustrating as it can be, there are reasons behind it that are also linked to the way your brain works. You see, high-functioning ADHD can come with its own set of challenges in managing time, as we mentioned earlier. This means that those executive functions that help others plan, prioritize, and smoothly transition from one activity to another sometimes play a bit of hide-and-seek in your mind. This can make it harder to start things or stick to a schedule, and easier for distractions to be irritable to you. Your level of interest and motivation can also play a role in the procrastination game. If a task doesn't spark your curiosity or passion, your brain might decide it's not worth engaging with just yet. This can lead to delaying the things you have to do even when they're very important. 3. You easily switch focus. While high-functioning ADHD can present an endless list of challenges in certain areas, it can also equip you with a set of cognitive tools that are particularly well-suited for adapting to various situations. One remarkable aspect of high-functioning ADHD is its ability to roll out the welcome mat for change and eagerly hop into new tasks. Think of it this way. While others might approach change with the enthusiasm of a cat facing a bath, your high-functioning ADHD makes you approach change like Dora the Explorer. In turn, your openness to novelty fuels your capacity to step into unfamiliar territories and readily adjust to the demands of different circumstances. So unlike others, you can easily switch your focus when it is required. 4. You juggle tasks like a pro. Now, if there's one thing that works hand in hand with adaptability, it's multitasking. Sure, we said you can be an unrepentant procrastinator, but these two are like two peas in a pod. Due to the fact that you have a high-functioning ADHD, your thought process operates at a quicker tempo, which allows you to effortlessly switch your focus between tasks. You may not be able to do this all the time, but sometimes, your ADHD brain decides to go on an executive spree, giving you abilities to focus like never before. This ability to quickly transition from one activity to another sets the stage for your multitasking prowess. The heightened vitality often associated with ADHD also gives you the stamina to handle multiple tasks without feeling drained. On the flip side, while multitasking might seem like a superpower, it can come with a few disadvantages for those with high-functioning ADHD. One of which is that it can make it difficult for you to fully concentrate on any single task at hand. 5. You just can't sit still. For someone with high-functioning ADHD, sitting still isn't just another puzzle to solve. In some cases, it can trigger a burst of anxiety that feels like a piano suddenly playing all the wrong notes. This reaction stems from the unique way your brain craves excitement and engagement. You see, neurologically, there's a neurotransmitter called dopamine that plays this significant role. You can think of it as a messenger that signals to your brain when something is rewarding or enjoyable. But in people with high-functioning ADHD, dopamine can be so unruly that it nudges you to keep moving and exploring. So, when you're expected to stay focused on one thing, your brain naturally wants to jump around, because your tendency to shift focus quickly comes into play. 6. It makes you hyperactive. If you have high-functioning ADHD, you're probably no stranger to the feeling of having an extra dose of energy that makes you hyperactive. It's not just typical restlessness. Rather, it's your brain's way of expressing itself in its unique style. You can think of your brain as a car engine that's always accelerating a little higher than normal, even when it is parked. This continuous buzz of energy translates into a natural inclination for activity. Now here's where it gets interesting. This hyperactivity might give off a workaholic vibe to those around you. They see you burning the midnight oil, going the extra mile to get things done, and maybe even answering emails while you're supposed to be resting. But in reality, it's not dedication at play. Your brain's constant need for stimulation just requires you to work harder or put in extra effort just to get your work done. 7. It makes you think outside the box. One of the hallmarks of people with high-functioning ADHD is the ability to think outside the box and generate a wide range of creative ideas quickly. So if you have high-functioning ADHD, you may have noticed that your mind is a whirlwind of creativity. Your inability to focus on a particular idea for an extended period makes your mental landscape a marketplace of creative ideas. In turn, this facilitates a constant flow that creates an environment where inspiration and novelty thrive. Now, despite the bad reputation that high-functioning ADHD gets, when it comes to staying focused, there are moments when you become deeply engrossed in a task or topic that captures your interest. This state can lead you to explore subjects extensively and develop unique perspectives that challenge conventional viewpoints. And to top it off, your lower tolerance for routine and boredom can be a driving force that naturally makes you seek out stimulating experiences and avoid monotony. 8. You have difficulties with organization. Just like we mentioned earlier, your high-functioning ADHD means that your brain is wired for excitement and novelty. And while that's fantastic for thinking outside the box, it can sometimes make sticking to a structured routine or a neat and tidy plan feel like trying to hold on to a bunch of helium balloons in a windstorm. You might find it a bit tough to keep track of time, appointments, and deadlines because your brain is so eager to hop onto the next interesting thing. And hey, it's not that you don't want to be organized. It's just that your brain is on a constant adventure, and sometimes the usual methods of organization might feel a little too conventional. So even when you try to make things work, traditional organization methods might not always be your jam. 9. It makes you very enthusiastic. Even though high-functioning ADHD can make focusing a bit tricky, it also gives you bursts of hyperfocus. So when something truly grabs your interest, you dive headfirst into it, especially when it goes hand in hand with your deep and genuine passions for specific hobbies, projects, or interests. This genuine passion fuels your enthusiasm because you pour your heart into what you love, and that excitement naturally spills over to those around you. You also tend to feel things more intensely, including positive emotions like excitement. So when something captures your interest, your emotions kick up your enthusiasm and make it pretty clear in how you express yourself. 10. You work effectively under pressure. Have you ever put off a task until the last minute simply because you know your best work comes when you're under pressure? Bingo. When it comes to working under pressure, your ability to step up can be fascinating, even for you. And this isn't just a coincidence. You see, while focusing on everyday tasks can be a bit challenging, your brain can kick into hyperfocus mode when the heat is on. This means that when you're faced with a task that is super engaging or urgent, your senses are able to function more effectively. This is because your brain releases more dopamine under pressure, which in turn boosts your focus and cognitive abilities. It's like a natural cognitive enhancer that helps you perform at your best when the stakes are high. The increased sense of urgency in situations like this can help you channel your energy into getting things done efficiently. If you liked this video, make sure to watch the next one. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the MindScope channel. Hit the bell and get notified when a new video is uploaded. Also, remember to share this video with anyone you think can benefit from this topic. You never know when someone needs to hear something presented in this video. Thank you for watching.